hello, welcome to Peace Pat Paints. I'm Pat. I paint little tiny things here on YouTube. So if you're into that sort of thing, stick around because we're going to do that in just a bit. We're on Dwarves right now, so that's exciting. If you like what you see, give us a like and subscribe. It what's the thing you're supposed to say? It helps with the algorithm and getting more people out to maybe see what we're doing and come check us out. Spread us around. Maybe one day we can get it to where YouTube and Google can pay for my art supplies. That'd be nice, right? Then I don't have to buy paint on my own dime. I can or out of commissions. I can have Google pay for it, which would be awesome. Anyway, things are going pretty well around here. Well, I mean as well as they can. It's a massive wreck on the highway today. So I don't know. I lost 35 minutes of my life waiting on them to figure it out. Looks like it looked like somebody was trying to merge into a place where they shouldn't have tried to merge into, and those things happen. Hopefully, everybody's all right. I didn't see the ambulances leaving like somebody was going to die. So, oh, Connor, good to see you, friend. Oh, golly, I'll sleep in my eye. Okay, so let's get into the nitty gritty. That's enough talking to me. Oh, there's my belly. Oh, you didn't miss anything. Just me talking about wild accidents. It's a crazy wreck on the highway. I missed 30 minutes of my life. I lost 30 minutes of my life. I'll never get it back. But that's all right. Could be worse. Why are all my little? I think somebody got out some tools on my bench and didn't put them back. My children, most likely. All my little screwdrivers out here hanging out. Kids, gotta love them. My oldest is now to the point where he can take apart and put things together himself pretty regularly, and he doesn't really ask to borrow my stuff. He just comes in here and grabs it, and then he forgets to put it away. I'm gonna strangle you, child. I'm literally gonna strangle you. Some train. Yeah, I've got a little bit of train. Yeah. So we've got printed out a gate. Kind of nice. Little mine entrance. Yeah, we got a little mine cart here. That's fun with the crystals. It's really neat. And then track. They've got the curve and some straight pieces. I'm wondering if he has a full turn. I didn't look to see. I just grabbed these, printed them off. These may have actually been the only ones, which, that's all right. But it's cute. It's really, really cute. Really good looking stuff. It's a lot of fun. It's a little misprint here, maybe. I might have to file that back down and reprime that because it's kind of wobbly. But I don't care. I don't actually probably not going to sell that or anything. I want to use it on my my setup for the shows. We go to sell things at shows. Golly, my brain is hiccuping today. Hopefully we can get through this without me looking like I stroked out. All right. Let's see. I'm thinking I want some Windsor blue here. Okay, gotta pick a color scheme. Something like nice blue. Alzerian crimson. Nice dark red maroon color. That'll look good. Looks like we got lots of armor and stuff, so. And I did get this guy to set up. Oop, I'm dropping his rider. But I did get this thing to reset. It was not easy. It was not fun, but it is put back together after yesterday. Ooh, I'm gonna drop it and break again. Oh yeah, I'm a big blue fan too. I have lots of blue. saddle. No. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint all these other guys probably off camera. I think I'm going to paint one of the gals because all the the main leader unit kind of guys are dudes. So we'll paint up one of these girls. Let's see which one I think looks the most entertaining. I like her with the axe and the... Yeah. Okay, so we'll paint this girl. We'll paint the three like hero kind of dwarves here. And maybe this one with the beer. Just so we can paint the beer. Because that's fun stuff. And then we'll paint the one on the eagle. And maybe the cart on the show. And then I'll paint all the rest of the stuff kind of like off camera. That really seemed to work out really well with the last couple of projects. Just kind of keep going and then show the highlights and then come back for the other stuff. Okay, so I think let's start off with our two regulars. Our gal and guy here. Alright, so blonde hair. Let's give her blonde hair. We'll start off with a little yellow ochre. I think blue for her get up. Yellow goes up here. What am I doing? I'm forgetting how I want to set up my palette. I'm kind of starting to design like a... Oh, I shouldn't say design. And that was a lot of yellow ochre. We're going to be using a lot of it apparently. I'm trying to get to where I have like a way I like to set up my palette. Although it changes a lot every project. But I'm trying to come up with a way where you can set it up to where if you do these things, it's always going to come out in a certain way. That might be easier said than done. She's got a lot of hair. Try to avoid her face, but there might be a little collateral here. Oh, that last part was not hair, that was something else. Again, that highlight, zenithaling, really will help us here in helping a lot of these values stay dark and the peaks are going to stay lighter, especially on blonde hair. Whatever that is not hair. That's part of an armor somehow, because it's connected to this shoulder. I think that's all for her hair. It looks like she's got, this looks like armor. That is definitely some sort of cloth. Nice pretty blue. I like that. Windsor is one of my favorites. It's that real nice royal kind of blue color. It's also one of the ones that they change the name of a lot for different paint companies. So like just because it's Windsor for Windsor and Newton colors doesn't mean it's going to be Windsor in every single one. That's one of the things that cracks me about Warhammer. They love to, God, they love to mess with their color names. Alright, so we got some wood here. Her bare arm sticking out there. Or is she wearing a shirt? It's really hard to tell sometimes. I think that's a shirt. Looks like there's some ripples of fabric in it. Like the idea of like a linen shirt. Yeah? Not quite white. Kind of off-white. At least for her shirt. Oh yeah, that's definitely a shirt. There's creases in it. Now, these might have been easier to paint before I glued all the pieces on there, but I don't really mind. And these come modular if you're trying to get them. This is Artisan Guild is the name of the manufacturer. Why did I paint that? That's armor. Golly. Arms, Pat. Paint the arms, not the armor. Hey, it's Sir McBeardsly. Good to see you, sir. That's Connor and Sir McBeardsly checking in today. Yeah, we're batting 1,000. Hope all's well in your world, my friend. We are definitely confirmed up for the next, for November. We've got 2 shows in November. For those of you who live in the OKC metro area, come hang out, come see us. I'll be doing some live paint. I'll be doing some painting there at the show, but that will not. We'll be mostly talking and selling. So definitely stop by. Definitely say hello. Definitely harass me. We will be there. Pop's Diecast Toys, and then what's the other one called? Forgot. Pop's Diecast is first, and it's in El Reno. We'll get the name of the other one when it gets closer. It's like a toy show too. It's like mostly toys and stuff. We kind of fit into that one, but yeah, not exactly. Okay, I'm gonna take that same Naples yellow, kind of just very lightly grab some of that hair, just the highlights, right? Especially up here on the top, we can really probably risk a little bit more on the top of her head, where theoretically the light is. Although it looks like maybe they're down in the dungeon, the mines, so then she might not have that much light on her hair. I really think these are like, I think her hair, I don't think that's her hair at the bottoms of these. I think they're, I don't know. I need to look at that one and see what his intention was. That's one of the good things about being able to just look up the sculptor's stuff. They have their studio has a painter who's working with their sculpting team, so they definitely would be able to just ask, like, hey, what is that? That's kind of nice, huh? Shame we can't all just ask the sculpting team, right? Oh, let's see. We ran some errands yesterday. Get shipped off to procure lunch. Yeah, that happens. No worries, brother. You know how we do around here. It's very low key. Anybody starts making stressful stuff around here, we're not gonna tolerate it. I don't have time for that. Honestly. All right, this guy's got breeches on. He's got a shirt. So I'm thinking red breeches, right? Start working on these color schemes, color tests, you know. Kind of fun to be back to painting something that's a little bit more oh, I don't want to say cartoonish. Whimsical is probably, that's what I want to say. Whimsical, fantastical. Good words for this. This guy's hilarious with his beer. He's got a beer on him that's leaking, and he's got a beer in his hand that is also leaking. Because this guy right here, this is my dude. Like, you want to go hang out with this guy. Malt beer, for sure. Wow. And just put it that way. Yeah, that's better, right? We gotta keep an eye on that dang camera. It loves to play games with me and move around. I really think it's my cats. Although yesterday it looks like it was my kids because they left my screwdrivers out. Something probably ran out of batteries. They had to get the batteries replaced, but it was one of the ones that had to you have to unscrew it in. I'm like, Dad's got one of those. I know what that is. Okay. I don't necessarily want to give him the linen shirt too, or maybe we do. Maybe give him a linen shirt. Maybe a different color. We do a nice gray. We got Payne's. We got to pull out some Payne's gray probably anyway. Just a nice Payne's gray. That'll look good. Thanks for anybody who's stopping by and watch us. I really appreciate you. I don't have like a count on here or anything, so I don't really know. But I do appreciate. So I only know if you comment. But I do appreciate the people who come by and watch, and don't want to get involved with all the chat. I completely understand. But I do want to give you guys a shout out. See, anyone else excited for season 2 of Fallout? Absolutely, we are. I'm also ready to play the extreme playthrough of Fallout in Vegas when the show does. That's fun. I haven't played New Vegas in a while. I remember when Fallout came out. We were all playing the 2D Fallout, or the top down, where you're like a scroller. And then when they came out with the new one, like a lot of my friends got seriously mad that they had changed the format of the game. I was like, man, really? It's kind of cool as a first-person shooter, really immersive for the world. And it's not like they changed any of the art direction, really. Just put in third-person. But a couple of my friends, man, they were really, really mad about it. It's like, wow, okay, seems like a strange thing to get angry about. Oh yeah, I like that gray. That's a good one. It's definitely a Curtis with a set of really heavy-duty pauldrons. Fallout 3 was my introduction. It was in high school. It's new to me. Gone back and played the old games. Yeah. I mean, notwithstanding the technology of those games, they are a little clunky, and they're because they're old. But the story in it is great. They've got a good story. It's pretty, for its time, it was well put together as far as the game goes. It wasn't, it didn't like crash constantly or anything like That was back when you didn't have to have a million patches to get a game to work. And they would send the game ready to go to market. You didn't have to have some sort of download to get it to work. I remember the trailers for Fallout 3 with the Egsod split. Super mysterious, exciting. Yeah. What's funny is like I always listened to all that stuff. Oh, you remember I listened to that music just in general in school. Like I have a bunch of stuff that old jazz, old blues, old the origins of R&B and all that stuff that the Ink Spots were a part of. And the Ink Spots, here's a fun thing for those who don't know, that was Billie Holiday's. That was her backup singers. Like they did work for her. Yeah, endlessly moddable. That is definitely their thing. I'm thinking, what are we thinking? We're thinking Red Hat for the drinker here, right? That's legit, right? All right, first we need some vermilion. Probably some straight orange. Cadmium orange. All right. There we go. Pull that over so you can see it. So, yeah, there's a deep maroon Alzerian crimson, and then vermilion. It's kind of like a reddish orange, and then cadmium orange is more like pumpkin orange, or like bright orange. Although when they're this close together, they're super hard to tell what's what. But anywho, we want to start with some cadmium, or no, some vermilion. And we'll probably drop a wash over it and then highlight it in cadmium. We want this guy's face to really fire out, right? And have that blazing red hair. Yeah, see, because, okay, so it's different. His is different. His hair is hanging out the bottom. I bet you hers are somehow, like, in little wraps or something. Because I know they're not broke off because they're smooth and round. No hair coming down his back, really. That's a pretty tight space to get in there. I'm not even going to stress it. Except for maybe just no, because that's his pauldron coming in. Yeah, we're going to make sure we get that back into this part of his mustache real good, and we're not going to stress the rest of that. Nice and easy. Bright red. Yeah, Billie Holiday's amazing. Yeah, oh yeah. I'm a huge fan. Like H-Bomb Ferguson, I love that stuff. Really good stuff. And then like, oh god, I can't remember his name. There's this one guy. He was Johnny Ray. He almost deaf, right? And man, he can sing. It's crazy. It's like the deaf guy just sing his ass off. He could hear like just enough to be able to do it. And he had grown up. He had been able to hear when he was growing up, and then lost his hearing. I think is how it actually worked. But it was absolutely hilarious. The he's hilarious. Like the guy himself is hilarious. he didn't seem to let his not that his disability was hilarious. Deafness is not hilarious. But like the way he handled it and the way he presented himself, and like he was just a funny guy. He didn't let anything keep him down. And I definitely like that. I always like try to emulate that myself. Just kind of don't let stuff keep me down. All right, so we're gonna come back through. We're gonna drop a little bit of a wash. This is a raw umber. So might be, and we're probably gonna come back and build up some more colors on this. But for now, we're gonna let this. We'll let this all stand on their hair, and we'll start working on the rest of their bodies. But we want to let this dry so we can see where we are. And this is really going to help us make sure we're just knocking out a lot of these contrasts. Because that is the name of the game with miniatures, is really trying to up the contrast. Yeah. Now, old Louis Armstrong. Love Louis Armstrong. Give me a kiss to build a dream, and my imagination thrive upon a kiss. More than this, kiss to build a dream on. All right. Bring some flesh color. Of course, I put everything away, so it's not as hard to find. It'll way in the back. Yep. Yeah, K Kaiser. K Kaiser's awesome. And then Marty Robbins. But Marty Robbins is a lot more modern than you think. Like, Marty Robbins is from the 60s and 70s. Deep in the West Texas town of El Paso, I fell in love with a Mexican girl. Just gonna get a base coat on her. Really, they're so thick. Because, you know, dwarves in general, just thick people. But there's not a lot of, like, gaps between them and their armor and stuff. I don't know why they ever have gloves on, though. It's always there. I mean, I guess I could paint them to look like gloves, but they're definitely like bracers with hands. Like, it's not. I should send him something and be like, dude, gauntlets, man, gauntlets. I think people expect to see the flesh, though. Like, it makes more sense to your mind, even though, like, in reality, if you were running around fighting like the, you know, in this kind of a style fighting, you would definitely be wearing leather gloves if you could get them, for a myriad of reasons. If you've ever actually swung an axe, you would know reason number one is to keep you from getting a bunch of blisters on your damn hands. People don't. I don't think people understand the kind of intensity that the medieval combat would have brought. Just the You know, like we think of fighting today, and like you see it on movies, and it's over in minutes. Like even like you know, you go and you look like some of the battles of say Kingdom of Heaven, where they're showing the Crusades, or what's the William Wallace movie, Braveheart, where they're showing William Wallace on the field and stuff like that. Those movies, those battles are over in minutes, just because cinematically you have to get it done. But in reality, like those battles took all dang day. Like they were fighting all day. Sometimes they were fighting literally from the time the sun went up to the sun went down. And moving and walking in heavy armor and hauling your weapons around, swinging them at each other. Blisters, we need gloves. Oh. All right. Just a little bit of that same raw umber wash, just recess some of this stuff. I'm going to come back through and highlight it with cadmium, really get it together. Right. I agree. I feel like you could give the pass on the dwarves. You know, they've got they're you know they're minors. Maybe they just have calluses we don't develop. I don't know. But definitely on a human where you're like, bro, this guy needs some gloves. Like the first thing I thought of when I watched Conan when I was a kid, I was like, why doesn't he have clothes on? Because like I always wanted gloves. Plus, I spent a lot of time around like medieval people, like people who studied this sort of thing, and I was very enamored with it from a young age. So I'm a little bit big study of medieval art and culture and clothing and food and not just like European medieval. Like I know a little bit about the Three Kingdoms era of China and a little bit of the dynastic times. I'm trying to learn more about that one. And India is fascinating. You can get into like India's like warring states period where they were fighting with each other. Man, there's some wild stuff. India's got this weird way of like kind of like turning history into myth. China does this too. So I feel like a hobbit with their feet, right? Like they of course hands. I don't, man. Maybe Tolkien did say something about that too. I'd have to look that one up. It's possible Tolkien said something. Okay. This all looks like steel. I guess we could do it all in steel or lead belcher with bronze highlights. Like we've been doing like everything in creation. I kind of get to his beer today. Yeah, the Hobbit. In the Hobbit, they talk about the Hobbit's feet. They talk about that in Lord of the Rings too. They talk when they do the concerning hobbits when Tolkien talks about that. But I don't remember if they mention dwarf like the other than them being hardy folk. But then again, like there is a lot of Tolkien that isn't in Hobbit or Lord of the Rings or even the Silmarillion, because you had these Tolkien readers where like you pay like the subscription fee, and I think it felt maybe this was I felt like you had to be on a list and you paid this thing and they sent you different Tolkien pieces. Like he would write different like little short stories and things like that. And it was like Like a book club or something, like a magazine. I feel like maybe it's even more like a magazine. I was very, very young. I barely remember it existing. I don't even know if we had any at my house. I think they were just at the library. I feel like the school had some. But yeah, that's gonna look great with the gray shirt next to it. Looks like leather with string on the bracers. Or a buckle on that one. Are they both buckles? They are. They're buckles. Nice. Okay, that's cool. Might come in and change that pad right there to some other color where it's like it looks more like padding. This lead belcher down, and we'll come back and we'll hit a lot of this up with some highlights to really help bring some of this out. We want to do some brass and things like that in here, or some bronze for sure, just to make sure it pops, you know. These guys seem like they've probably got plenty of money. Homie's got, I mean, he got elbow pads, knee pads, boots with kickers on them. Okay, let's see. Grab some bronze. And probably need some wood color. So we're going to do a little bit of burnt umber for the wood on the tankard. Oh gosh. Yeah, they talk about hobbit feet in The Hobbit and in Lord of the Rings. Tolkien is always talking about those feet. I kind of wonder if homie had like a foot fetish. Found it. Hey! The feet mention or dwarves' hands. Because I know they talk about hobbits' leathery feet on more than one occasion. Like I said, you kind of start to wonder if old Tolkien had himself a little foot fetish. God, big old hairy feet. Yeah. Oh, shoot. Yeah, in the opening part of yep, that's in The Hobbit. And then there's one, if you'll go into on Lord of the Rings in the foreword, concerning hobbits. He talks about it again, and then like I said, I think there's some more mention of it in the Tolkien readers. And there's like a specific reason why, like the proud feet are called the proud feet because they, like, their feet are bigger than everybody else's. The Proudfoot clans, and he says proud feet. Oh, it's Fionn morning. Definitely gonna go digging around, see if I can't find some mention of dwarves' hands. I bet you he mentions it somewhere. Tolkien had like this incredible ability to keep up with details like that, like just create these ideas and details out of whole cloth, really. I definitely want to get this beer done real quick though, just because I said malt beer on the on the doobly doo thing. The title was like, oh, better make sure I paint this guy with the beer, right? That is the burnt umber there. Going down for the wood around the tankard. Which I think it's technically a stein since it has a lid, right? Could be wrong there. I have to look that one up. I think if it has a lid, it's technically a stein. But I also thought steins had to be made out of porcelain. So I may be wrong. In America, they just call it all, whatever. They don't mess around with all them fancy names and all. Unless you're German, and then maybe you're. I love that this guy's got. His guy is beard out. He not beard as in like a beard, but as in like beers. He has multiple beards on him. At least two. I'm kind of feeling like he might have another one tucked up in that shoulder pad somewhere. The man's got a problem. He needs a 30-day no contact in the rehab. Oh, I caught it. Bounced it and caught it. Okay. This one here makes no sense too. Why is this here? I think it's hilarious. Totally painting it in. This guy is like, I don't go into battle without 2 beers on me, and it's hilarious. I don't think dwarves recognize alcoholism as a bad thing. I don't know that they. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think that that's definitely a. I think you're supposed to drink as a dwarf. If you don't have a. I mean, their AA meetings are more like a celebration. Dwarves are crazy. All right. So I'm gonna drop just a little bit of yellow ochre here for the contrast in the bottoms of these suds. We're going to come back with titanium white and knock out the rest. And bring the suds back. I think that's a piece of it. Silly dog. Told her not to go out there. She didn't listen. As per usual. Sudsy beer. You're just really kind of just touching it. Boom. Easy. Easy, easy. Okay. Sounds like somebody's pulling in my driveway. I'm hallucinating. So he's got a tiny little bit of flesh in there. We might dot that in just a second. Just barely a little bit of his face in there. Man, I don't know. Actually, I think I want to kind of make those leather and then like make the buttons brass, like it's leather snapped up over the tops of them. That look pretty cool, right? Different. I'm a big fan of different. Oh, that poor dog feels like she's gonna die. You just gotta have to wait 10 minutes, pupper. It's not cold or anything out there. I warned her, told her not to go. Oh yeah, I like this. It's gonna look slick. Kind of keep slowly putting them down on there. Pay attention to where you are. She's getting frustrated now. Like, let me in, dang it. I shouldn't be laughing at her, but she definitely makes my life kind of a pain sometimes. So, yeah, no, every now and again, it's alright. Have a little giggle. She's perfectly fine. Y'all probably can't even hear this silly dog. She's gonna look at me like, what's wrong with you? Oof, get hard to see in there. There we go. She's got so much personality in her little bark too. She'll talk at you. She's a riot. You'll live, doggo. Oh yeah, with the leather. Oh yeah, that's what we wanted, right? That looks slick. Little brass buttons. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Our dogs are a problem. Dixie can open sliding doors. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's that's a problem. Say, but Izzy can also punches the back door aggressively when she wants to come in. Dogs. It's good times. Okay, we're gonna let this guy set up a little bit. We'll come back tomorrow. I'm gonna go let this silly dog in. But looks good. We got malt beer. This guy looks great. It's a lot of fun. These doors are fantastic. So we'll get him and her knocked out tomorrow, and then we'll be on to one of these heroes. Which would be cool. It's like the way this guy designs his stuff is like, I think it's like a small skirmish game, sort of like Warhammer or something like that, but you're using different like fantasy factions and stuff like that. But you know, it's really neat. You also use them for D&D or whatever you want to. So, but I like his stuff. I think he's Spanish, if I remember right, which is cool. But yeah, we'll finish painting up these guys, and then I think we might go to World Eaters. I don't know. I've got a couple of different. I've got some Skitarii, and I've got some World Eaters, and like I can get these World Eaters painted, and we can sell them because nobody I know plays World Eaters. So let me get back to the Warhammer. I know everybody loves the GW stuff, but I gotta, I like to spread it out. I like to do other stuff. Anyway, if you did like what you got to see, give us a like and subscribe. Always wonderful to see you, Sir McBeardsly. Hello, thanks again, Connor, for coming in early and saying hi. It's good to see you. If y'all know if everything's going well in your world, friend. Yeah. I gotta go back out on the Uber trail and make a little cash. So, I'm trying to get my insurance paid. Car insurance is expensive. So, anyway, hope you guys all have a great day. Be good to yourselves. Be good to people. Somebody you don't know. Be good to people. It's good. Anyway, spread some goodness around. We'll talk to you later. Bye.